to shut those books and hop on board because you've just hit the high school stories jackpot.
I was really pumped. I couldn't wait to do it.
I just heard everybody saying, this is awesome.
First up, a sophomore floats some fake dollar bills in a good prank gone bad.
At that point, I didn't really even think about the prank anymore. I was more thinking about, hey, this is bigger than the prank. It's my life.
Then, a motley crew of seafaring seniors makes a huge splash with a one-of-a-kind prank.
Everyone was just like, wow, we're really impressed.
Check it out now on High School Stories, Scandals, Pranks, and Controversies.
My school is so boring. When is something interesting gonna happen?
Give us something to talk about.
Give us something to talk about.
High School Stories, Scandals, Pranks, and Controversies.
Every high school kid knows what it's like to be low on cash. But what if you figured out a way to never be broke again? Well, we're about to tell you a story about a student who did just that and came up with the worst prank that money can buy. Welcome to Bellport, New York. Even though it's just a quick train ride from New York City, this short town's got a totally different feel.
Bellport's about an hour and a half away from New York City.
Bellport is real close to the water. It is a beach town.
The beach is the place to be in the summertime.
But before they can hit the waves, the town's teens have to wait out the school year at Bellport High. A real melting pot of diverse nationalities and personalities.
Bellport is unique because of how everyone hangs out and it's so diverse.
We have a lot of different cultures and races of people here.
It is pretty hard to stand out in the school because there's just so many different kinds of kids.
Meet Jack. In a school where it's hard to stand out, he manages to do just that. When he's not performing stunts on his bike, he's busy pulling pranks in the halls of Bellport High.
Jack is a crazy white kid.
I remember one time when he ran down the hallway with no shirt on and his boxers, and he had April's Fool Day written on his chest.
He just wants to be a class clown. He just does it to make us laugh.
Jack's rep as a prankster was laid down while he was still a freshman. So as his sophomore year was coming to a close, he was looking for a way to take it to a new level.
I started thinking of bigger and better things, not just silly pranks. My friend got a brand new scanner. We could scan just about anything and come out perfect. We started taking random things, just seeing whatever we could do with the scanner that we possibly use in school. It'd be funny. I went in my pocket and there was a $5 bill. And we put it on the scanner, and when we printed out, couldn't tell the difference from the original. It was just awesome. I started coming up with ideas that I could do to make pranks by making fake money. I came up with the idea that I could throw it up in the air on the last day of school and see what people would do if they ran around and tried grabbing it and started fighting over it and then figured out that it wasn't real. So I imagined what it would look like in my head when people were scrambling for the money. It was just going to be complete chaos. When I told my friend, he thought it was probably a pretty good idea, that it would be funny to watch. Now that I had the plan for the prank, all I had to do was get a method down for making perfect money. I started getting a process down where I could make a lot of money pretty fast. And I ended up making a couple hundred bills. I only made singles and fives because it was the only money I really had on me at the time. And started thinking of people who I could give the money to, who I trusted that I could pull the prank off with.
With only 2 days left before the last day of school, Jack had to move fast to form his prank-pulling posse.
I saw my friends and I showed them what was in my backpack.
When I looked in the bag, my eyes just like widened up like that. I was so surprised. I thought Jack hit the lotto or something.
I told all of them that we're gonna go to the busiest part of the school and we're gonna throw the money up in the air and watch kids fight over it on the last day of school. I wanted it to just be a secret. I told all of them just keep it really quiet. After they told me the idea, I thought it was very funny. I couldn't think of anything better to do with it except spend it.
Anthony wasn't the only one who wanted to spend the fake money. The counterfeit cash looked so real that a lot of Jack's friends couldn't resist the temptation to try it out in the lunchroom.
When I walked up to lunch line, I reached for my fake money and I wanted to see if it would work. And she just took it and handed me change back. I was really surprised. I just walked away without saying anything with a big grin on my face. Before you knew it, all my friends, they had pretty much all the counterfeit money and they all were spending it.
With no clue that his home-crafted cash was already in circulation, Jack headed to school the next day, psyched to see his prank plans come to life.
When I got to school, I was really pumped. I couldn't wait to do it. It was gonna be awesome. The last day of school coming in, I was pumped up, but it's gonna be mad funny.
While Jack was still stuck in class, a few kids in the cafeteria were looking to cop for free lunch.
I got the money from a friend. It was a $5 bill. I wanted to spend it myself, but I was kind of nervous, so I figured I'd send somebody else out to do the trouble. Jeremy had came in the cafeteria. I knew he would be perfect to go spend the money.
I go up to Antoine, and he's like, go spend this money. He's like, go get something to drink. I was thinking about, like, why he would give me money, but really at that point, I didn't care. I just wanted to get something to drink.
When Antoine gave Jeremy the money, I was like, I have to go see what's happening. You know, I have to go check this out.
I give her the money, and then she looks at me funny when she was holding the money, like, what are you doing? And I'm looking at her like, I'm trying to get a Snapple.
She was like, I just can't take it. It's fake. It's not real at all. I thought it was just really funny, but he was really mad, actually.
I was like, I can't spend it. And everybody just started laughing because they knew what was going on.
I just really wanted to know what was going on, so I walked over there and I looked down and there's money on the table, and Antoine tells me that it was fake money. Unless you really, really looked at it, you couldn't tell it was fake.
And then next thing you know, the principal comes in and then the school cop.
I had the money in my hand, so I knew that I just had to get rid of it. So I walked really slow and I threw it out in the garbage thinking no one's seen me.
I'm looking at her like, what is she doing?
Next thing you know, the lunch lady comes out and she starts pointing at our table.
And the principal had grabbed me, Antoine, Cece, and Heather and told us that we had to go with him.
I was just thinking of how much trouble I would get in. I was just really scared.
Coming up, will Jack's scheme to start a fast cash frenzy go forward?
I was pumped. I couldn't wait for it to happen. I was so excited.
Or will he and his friends be put completely out of circulation?
I was scared. I felt like I wanted to cry. I thought I was really going to get in trouble.
Find out when High School Stories returns.
Clearasil Ultra. Its triple action formula starts working instantly. For visibly clear.
Off the prank that will make him a legend. He's
Talk about
something to talk about.
high school stories, scandals, pranks, and controversies.
So get this, it's the last day of school at Bellport High. It's not exactly a celebration for 4 kids who just got busted for trying to spend some counterfeit cash. The mastermind behind the fake money, Jack, waiting until the end of the day to pull off the prank that will make him a legend. He's in a race against time, but will he make it to the finish line? Check it out.
The whole last day of school, it just couldn't have went by any slower. I just wanted to get out every single one of my classes and get on to doing this prank. I just thought all the planning, all the work, it's gonna pay off today. It's gonna be hilarious.
While Jack was waiting to get out of class, his already apprehended cohorts were being led from the cafeteria straight to the principal's office.
As we're walking towards the principal's office, it's just like the walk of death.
We saw a man standing there. He was a detective.
The detective sits us down, and the first thing he says is that we've broken the law. He said that it was a federal offense and that people go to jail for years for doing this stuff, and it's really a big thing. It's not a joke.
I was scared. I felt like I wanted to cry because I'd never been in this type of situation before. I thought I was really going to get in trouble.
Though they knew they were in hot water, the kids were still confused as to how the school caught on to their phony money monkey business. Well, they're about to find out.
They told us that the day before, someone had spent the money in the cafeteria, and the school tried to give the money to the bank, but the bank caught that it was not real money.
The bank told the school to be on the lookout for counterfeit money because it's the end of the school year and they felt it was going to be happening again.
And that's how the lady knew that it was fake.
The detective constantly kept asking us over and over again who made the money.
And I think that's when everybody just broke. And then Antoine just came out and was like, Jack made the money.
So the detective knew the source of the bogus bills, but he still wanted some hard evidence. The question was, what had the kids done with the funny money?
We all knew the answer, but since Heather was with us, we didn't want to just tell on her. And then Heather, she just came out herself and was like, I had threw it in the garbage.
He hands me a pair of gloves, and he wanted me to go and dig it out and find it. And I was like, that's just nasty. My stomach was turning. I couldn't believe that I was going to do this in front of all my friends. I'm just looking at all this gross, nasty juice stuff all over everything. It was just really embarrassing. I go into the principal's office with this dripping piece of money. He told me that I wasn't going to be in that much trouble because I threw it out, and that was the right thing to do.
They had told us that we could go home.
And then they said that they were going to contact us to see what else was going to happen.
Still in the dark, Jack was all revved up and ready to wreak havoc as the school day came to a close.
The bell rings, and I want to get out of this class so bad. I'm really excited. We're going to go do this prank. So I started walking to get to where my friends are, and the principal just pretty much came out of nowhere. I was like, is this for the prank? Does he know about it, or is it just something else? When I got into the principal's office, there was a cop and a detective. The principal just left. They were just asking me questions like, do you know how serious what you've done is? They were treating me like a criminal. They started making threats like, you're gonna go to jail till you're 30. This is a federal offense. And at that point, I didn't really even think about the prank anymore. I was more thinking about, hey, this is bigger than the prank. It's my life. Eventually, I started telling the detectives it was just supposed to be a prank. I made all the money myself. They didn't really think that it was a prank at all. They thought I was actually trying to make money and actually scam the school. The cop told me, you're free to go, but we're gonna be in touch with you. And I was thinking, wow, this is gonna be a really bad summer.
Since Jack had admitted to making the mock money, his intended prank partners were free and clear to enjoy their summers. But for the man who had the plan, the last day of school held little reason to celebrate.
I ran all the way home as fast as I could just to tell my parents what happened before the cops could talk to them first. Once I told them that I had to talk to a cop and a detective, they started to see how serious it was.
And I called the precinct and spoke to the detective. The detective told us it was an ongoing matter. It was actually a federal offense at that point. We started to look on the internet and we started to find out that he could do 15 years.
At that point, I was freaking out. I was scared out of my mind. I didn't know what was going to happen. Then my mom got a phone call from the detective saying I had to come turn myself in. It was pretty scary walking in there and seeing all the cops and then not knowing if I was going to get out. The detective comes out and brings me to the interrogation room and starts asking me all these questions and made me sign off on my official statement.
The cops didn't waste any time. Jack was arrested, charged with second-degree forgery, and put in jail while his mom was posting bail.
Being in jail was probably the scariest thing I've ever done. Finally, the cops told me I could go. And even though I was out of jail, it didn't feel that good because I knew I had a trial coming up and I could actually be serving a lot of time in one of those jail cells.
Jack was released for now, but was summoned to court a week later, where his fate would lay in the hands of a judge.
When I was in the court being on trial, it felt really weird having everyone in the court looking at me and looking at the judge. I was pretty afraid.
He was nervous. It was scary standing up there in front of the judge.
My lawyer was explaining how I'd never done anything before. This was really just supposed to be a prank and that he just wanted to get dropped down to a violation so it didn't ruin any chances I had at life by giving me a criminal record. The DA really seemed like she didn't want to drop it down to a violation. She wanted an actual punishment. The judge had told me, you see how sometimes you don't plan for stuff to happen, but they can turn out a lot worse than you think, so you have to really think things through. At that point, I kind of realized that he was going to take it easy on me. In the end, they dropped it down to a violation, so I only got 6 months probation, which means as long as I stay good for 6 months, my record gets sealed and thrown out, and nothing else happens.
The fact that Jack didn't actually spend the money, that he let everybody know that it was fake money, actually did play a big role in the end.
Jack was able to narrowly escape serious jail time and get back to life as a normal teenager.
Once I left the courtroom, I knew this was all behind me. I was going to spend any time in jail. I was really excited to just see, hey, this is over. I can get on with my life now.
Jack was really lucky to get off as lightly as he did, considering what the charges actually were.
Fake money, don't mess with it, because they do catch you and they will get you into a lot of trouble.
I can give advice to anyone who's thinking about doing a prank like this. Just don't do it. You end up jail, probation, lawyer bills. It's really not worth it at all.
Coming up, will a ship hit the fan when a crazy crew...